the track. What's going on, everybody? I am here in the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix. Actually came to the track. We rented the track. It's a Thursday, 6 o'clock. And I tuned a couple cars on the dyno. There's an event coming up on the 28th, I think, and I can't make it. So I came over here for a couple weeks ahead of time and get the cars going. Some of the cars that came off the trailer. Seems pretty sticky. I'm walking the track to see how it is. They prepped it for us, and it seems very sticky. So we're only going to be doing 8th mile hits. The track is usually 8th mile only. We're here only until 10 o'clock, so we don't have too much time. But at least if we can dial in some of the cars so that they get ready for the track event, actually, on the 28th. If I'm not mistaken, that's the day that we're not going to have a tree. We're not going to have a system, but we're just going to, set the car up. But it is prepped, so like it would be at the event. That way we can, dial in the cars and then make sure that they're good for the event. Currently doing those two. One that's gonna go into the track now, and then one of them broken axle. The other one has transmission problems. Mustang, we're just looking it over, and the rest is just hanging around. All right, today's Friday, and I'm heading back home. Flight's a little delayed already. Spirit shows that it's already delayed. But yesterday we were at the track. Most of the cars did really good. Vidal's still working on his car. We got a couple things that we had to do on the boost controller, but for the most part, she's dialed in. Traction control is working. Strain gauge is working. I got the chance to drive the car and actually test it, and everything works pretty good. So I don't have no complaints. All he has to do is just get in there and drive it now. The event here is on the 28th. I don't think I'll make it. I didn't get to do too much content when I was here, but I promise that on the next one I will give it a full content of coming here, because it is beautiful here. I love it here. This is like my second home, and I should have just done some more content on it, but it's all right. It's no big deal, I guess. I'll do it for the next one. I'll be back for sure. The rest of the people, everybody, was happy. Everybody was good, and we had one issue with one car with a transmission, but other than that, she's ready to do a nice test hit. I just I wish they would have fixed the transmission before, but we tried to do it with the way the transmission was, but it just wouldn't hold second gear. It kept popping it out. So other than that, going back home, we're gonna work on the Sport four-wheel drive Civic, the blue one that I put together with me and my friends, and for one of my friends that actually lives here in this island. He's gonna come up end of January, possibly now on January 4th. I don't know. We're definitely. I want to take it to two events in January. There's one in IFO, in Gainesville, and one in Orlando, on the 30th and 31st. So the next time you'll see me is gonna be back home at my shop working on the car. I am now at my shop. Um, I landed last night, and this morning I had a couple of things I had to do at the house, but I'm gonna tune this car now. And my friend Jay, he came over and he's gonna help me out with the Sport 4-wheel drive Civic. We have it on the lift. We're gonna take the transmission down and get it checked out with Pipa. For the future, we're thinking about actually trying out the new intake manifold. But right now, we're just gonna actually put the new turbo on and check the transmission out. We had taken off the turbo because front the front wheel had a couple chips, and at the same time we upgraded the front housing. So Jay has gone a long way already. Now he's just waiting for me to do the transmission. So a little history with the Civic. The Civic has actually been I've been putting this car together with friends, and I have a specific people that work with the car, especially fabrication and stuff, for about 4 years, right? Yeah. So then, so far, the owner of the car, it's a good friend of mine, so a good friend of ours. He's actually driven the car and gotten the car down to 820s at 100 and what? Not 80.
We did 180 and
180.
the PB was a 176 mile per hour.
Okay, well, 180, 820s. So we upgraded the turbo, like I was saying earlier, and they upgraded the wheel and the front housing. So it should technically, go a little faster, but whatever we get out of it, we'll be fine. As long as it's a consistent car, I think we'll be happy. Um,
Yeah, we're going to World Cup next year, baby.
the idea is to go to World Cup, so we definitely need a 7, but we're gonna go for it. We're gonna try, but we definitely gonna try to save Nadir's pockets.
Yeah, that's one thing, but I do want to say shout out to Javi because if it wasn't for him, I don't feel like the car would have been where it's at today.
Yeah.
In general, just not even just tuning, just everything in general. But I tell him all the time he underestimates himself. The car already went 820s in 6 months, so I can't see why the car won't go sevens. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The car has everything to do it.
the first year when the car was running, it was a smaller turbo kit. We were just getting our feet wet with it, and I got it to what, an 8.4? Yeah, 8.4, and that was me driving it. So then Nadir got in it, and he learned really quick. So that was
Really
very
quick,
yeah, really quick.
We only took him to literally one testing.
Yeah.
One testing how the car is right now, and FL2K is like he's been driving the car for years.
Yeah.
Much.
He did really
He
good.
still had little things that he has to work on, but other than that, it was really good.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
yeah.
All right, guys. So I was able to get the Integra done. It's a bone stock K20, skunk twin intake manifold, E85, 1000 cc's, 64, 66 precision, V-band, 64 millimeter, 60 millimeter wastegate. I'm not too sure about the intercooler stuff, but 14 psi, 447, 321. There no boost controller, just straight 14 psi. We left it like that. All right, so now we're gonna drop the transmission off. Drop the transmission. Gotta take the water pump off, axles, shift linkage, All right, so on this time lapse, I will take the time to explain a little bit about the situation about the transmission. I wasn't able to bring the transmission down fast enough the day that I wanted to take it to Pipa. Pipa was not available in the afternoon. He was only available in the morning, so didn't have a chance to take it to him. But a good friend of mine, Jason, was able to help me out with this, and we figured out the final drive was actually hurt, and we needed to change it. So we had a spare, and we had a 4.4 originally in the car in the transmission. So we switched over to the 4.2, which is what everybody's using now. So that's what we did here. It's been a couple of days since last been able to record anything. I've been super busy. I've been traveling back and forth here in Florida. I also was able to get an engine for my son's new car. Yeah, we got him an EP3. We sold his 8th Gen SI. Some people might hate me for it, but the EP3 was really nice. It had carbon fiber fenders, hood, and a carbon fiber wing. Had some nice wheels, bigger brakes. We got it with no engine, so we ended up getting an engine from JDM Express. We're using a stock EP3 transmission, and we put it together. We have it here, ready to go. So you can see it here. It's ready. I have a big mess in the shop because I've been trying to. I was gonna build an engine for him, and actually turbo the car later, but I decided to just put a stock long block instead. But we're gonna put the motor in with this valve cover, with that header for now, and then we're gonna end up using that valve cover for the future. But that's the EP3, and I am gonna work on this now. I finally was able to to finish the transmission and actually put it up. I didn't get to record the time lapse on it, but it's already up. Shift linkage is still not on all the way, but I'm gonna do that now. So, and then of course the turbo kit, manifold, and then the turbo. It's right here. I'm also building a K20A2, pistons and rods, springs retainers on the head. This K24 block was no good, so I'm gonna send it out to get sleeved, and that one's gonna go on boost. Well, it was already on boost, but he decided to put pistons and rods before the engine breaks, which is a smart thing to do. So that's my next, that's my next thing. I will try to record on that, but for now, we're focused on the blue hatch. So in this time lapse, I wanted to explain a little bit about the cylinder head issue that we were having. As you would see on the video later on, I explained about the head being cracked on the exhaust ports. So we thought it was a head gasket, which it was. The head gasket did blow at FL2K. Well, it did get hurt, and then on the dyno, we just finished it off. You will see on the video that the water squirts everywhere out of the radiator cap. Well, that's just a sign of too much coolant pressure. So then that's why you see all the water come out. We initially just wanted to change the head gasket and go racing, but as we put it together, we see the water coming out the exhaust port, out the exhaust pipe, and then I proceeded to take off the manifold and and check further on to see what was going on. And sure enough, the head was cracked on the exhaust ports. So we decided to just change it to the next long block that we have, and then get a new head for the short block that we have that's still good, and then have it refreshed. And that way we have the refresh motor as a spare block again, or as a spare long block. And we keep cycling the motors, and then we keep having an extra motor every single time when we go to the track. All right. So we got the car pretty much done, 90% done. We're missing the up pipe and the EGT sensors. One of the sensors were bad, so I decided to not put the up pipe because it's in the way. It's harder for us to put the sensors in. So this is the perfect time to change the sensor out. Other than that, like pretty much 90% done. And tomorrow, what we'll do is we'll get some fresh fuel, fresh oil, put some oil in the transmission, and put it on a dyno, and then turn the boost down and work my way up and see if everything's okay, and get ready for IFO in Gainesville, import face off. It's on January 4th. Then after that, it will be front wheel drive war in Orlando Speed World on the 31st and the 1st. But right now, what we're gonna do is I got a couple friends helping me out, like always, and we're gonna do my son's new EP3 Civic. We're about to put the K24 that's in it with the stock EP3 training, stock long block K24A2, well Japanese K24A. Jeff, I got you, motherfucker. What's up, guys? So here with Saruk, we put the car on the dyno yesterday just to verify that everything was working and the transmission was doing good with the new final drive. We did do a 45 psi pull on the dyno and it made 1050, but sadly the head gasket did not hold. We have suspicion that the head gasket was already broken on the last event, which was FL2K, and on the last pass, I had checked the log, and it was a little high in coolant pressure, but definitely this time it went pretty high, and it pushed water out of the cap. So we did the head gasket. Jay and Jimbo actually helped me out a lot with it. We're gonna put it back together. We're finishing it up now, and we're gonna put it back together, and we're just gonna check timing, make sure everything's good, change the oil again, and send it on Sunday. Man, Jimbo, you're killing it. I love it. That was the dyno graph from last night. 1050, 636 torque. 647 was on wastegate, which is 22 psi wastegate. It's it's a V18, 84 and a half millimeter pistons, VTEC killers, webcams, built by Domi Built with JBRE, with a 64 millimeter apex at 45 psi. So previous to before having the new wheel design and the front housing, we made 100 less. So at the same psi, and this was 45 psi, and we run 60 to 58 psi at the track. So I think it'll be a little over 1100 horsepower. Some people tell me it'll be around 1200, but I don't know if the turbo really has that much steam. Jeff over here with his beater. What's up, Jeff? Everybody. So Saruk will not make it to Gainesville event. We had on the dyno, after the dyno, we blew the head gasket, and then after that we found out the cylinder head is cracked. So on cylinders 1, 2, and 3, right on top of the port, right by the valve guide. Not too sure what caused it. There's a couple theories behind it, but it's something that happens when a ported head. It's what everybody says. So We're gonna swap out to the new motor, but we're not gonna make it with to Gainesville because we want to change the coils out because we're using K series coils, and we're gonna use M1 fuel now from now on. So we're gonna go with the FuelTech coils and the FuelTech FT box. So we're gonna swap out the motor. We're going to take it back to Ninja so he can do all those additions to it, and then we're gonna go testing with it another time. So sadly, we won't be able to take the cars for this event, but it'll make it to the next event on January 31st for Front Wheel Drive Wars. So I'll leave this video here just for that, and then that's it, guys. Have a good one.